All right, hello everyone. Thank you for attending our webinar. You being here in attendance already just proves and gives a great insight to your understanding of how important mobile dimensioning is and where the future is headed. Leading today's session, we have Matt Miller, the CTO and President of Mobile Demand, an industry leader in rugged mobility solutions, and also Peter Seeley, our Sales Development Executive at Mobile Demand and the face of our XDIM Masterclass video series. Please stick around to the end where we will be showing our live ROI calculator that is new to our system. And we'll be sharing a link at that time after Matt goes over the details of the calculator so you can play around with that yourself. And also there is a button at the top for Q&A, so feel free to drop in your questions as we go along, and Hannah and I will filter those and delegate some time at the end to get those questions answered. So as Matt shares his screen, we'll dive in.
Okay, looks like we're having a couple of just recent in the last 15 seconds of additional people coming in, so that's great. I will share my screen, so it could take a second or two to get that up, so that will be good. I am, let's see here, go to presentation mode, so it's maximized. Okay, got that. Now, your screen, share that one. Like so. Okay, I'm gonna move that to this. Sorry, I'm just doing a few quick little adjustments. Okay.
Very good.
All right. Started at the very end. I don't want to do that. Okay, there we go.
All right, very well.
Okay, great. Well, we've got a good attendance here today, and basically just to let everybody know, I always like when we have team meetings, always interested, where are people from? Now, we're not going to ask everybody here to say, but we're based in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, kind of an offshoot of, if you ever, some experts or some experienced people in the industry may know NORAN Corporation back in the literally 80s or 90s. That's where I kind of cut my teeth in the industry back in the 90s and early 2000s, and also we're kind of an offshoot from that, which eventually got acquired in the late 90s by Intermec, and then that got acquired by Honeywell. So we kind of have a lot of experience in that industry of mobile devices and barcode scanning, Wi-Fi, mobile printing, and the like. So, okay, so I will move forward here with the presentation. So today here, the topic is smarter dimensioning, anytime and anywhere dimensioning. We've proven out doing a lot of metrics on our side and our customer side that the mobile dimensioning is not only much more efficient, but also could be up to less than a third of the cost. So here we have today is myself as CTO. We have Peter Seeley, also connected here as our business development executive, salesperson, if you will. Sarah here in marketing, and then another resource is that we have is Mark Boyer. He's in the software development team leader and technical leader of the group as well. So with the agenda we're going to have is a describing why mobile dimensioning matters to enterprises and organizations. Peter and I especially have been to literally dozens and dozens of warehouses just in the last year. We have lots of experience in learning and asking a lot of great questions of what the problems are and why, what are the obstacles, and basically then what can be used to overcome these obstacles. And that we feel and see is that mobile dimensioning is definitely a smarter, faster, and cheaper way about from a workflow. We've proven out with some metrics that we've done to have now we're just releasing today an ROI calculator, and we'll give an interactive demo of that calculator with real world data that supports it. And then just do a success story. We'll tell a brief story of a great customer of ours, and then kind of state what some of the next steps would be for getting started with mobile dimensioning. And then obviously we'll have some Q&A closing in the last 5 to 10 minutes or so. So with that, and I think that there could, certainly we could allow for questions. I don't know, Sarah, we didn't talk, or would we allow questions in the chat potentially?
Yes.
While we're going through?
And then
okay.
if there are some relevant ones on current slides, I'll be able to interject if they're relevant, so no worries.
Okay, all right, very good. Okay, so why would mobile dimensioning matter? First of all is to kind of get to two things. What's the need to update item master data and or have photo documentation, and then what are the obstacles to it? So why would mobile dimensioning be a good solution? Well, the need to update is really driven by a variety of factors. First and foremost, we see from a trend of switching ERP or WMS systems to more modern systems or systems that have more features. And in that time frame, in that planning for that switch, is they want to transfer clean item master data to maximize features available, and maybe the reasons for the switch. So like improved slotting of warehouses and things of that nature would be an example. And then also automation planning and readiness to try to check out the plan for the capacity of the automated mobile robots, so that and the conveyor systems and things of that nature. A lot of times the automation companies or consultants, when you're trying to plan your automation, are their ask of the customers or the potential customers is what are the size of your items, and many of them just cannot trust or don't know, or they know that they're incorrect by and large. So it gets in the way of automation planning. Driving efficient space utilization. So if you have inefficient space utilization or slotting, commonly used term in the warehouse, that you're able to maximize the space utilization, and so you don't have to plan for future expansions or new warehouses, as many companies with e-commerce and the like are adding tons of products, and being more efficient in your space utilization is only possible if you know the dimensions and the master item data. Carrier and shipping accuracy is a huge ROI model too, and that's based upon as a trend for freight for density-based pricing, as well as just if you are entering as a shipper, entering dimensions into systems that are incorrect, you could get very large surcharges, chargebacks, fees, etc. That's driving. So knowing the dimensions of your products just inherently, plus at your shipping station, having a efficient process for that is vital. And then another one would be reverse logistics or returns. So a lot of times the packaging is not in good condition. It's either reused original packaging that's not in good condition to resend out as a renewed item, or having to do entirely new boxes, either on the fly box creation, custom size box creation for selling returns. And then we see another big trend is photo documentation. That's definitely an emerging need, and especially like to have background removal on items too. So for shipping and receiving dispute resolution, a mobile system for that. So not only from dimensions, but also having photo documentation tied to a barcode scanned, manifest, or the SKU numbers, or what have you. It helps enable for easy dispute resolution. And then there's also like picking verification. That we see that as a big trend. Not only when you go picking, you scan the location and scan the barcode, or of the SKU or UPC code to verify you have the right product. But we're also seeing a trend that in case they're mislabeled, another final verification is showing up on the handheld of the user doing the picking. Is this the product that you're picking? So having that available for picking and for robot screens as well. We're just was at a warehouse 3 weeks ago or so, a few hours from here, that has a lot of use of the mobile robots and picking robots, and they have the displays on the robots that when the user would pick the item and then drop it in, before they drop it in the tote, they'd scan the barcode that's on the monitor or the tablet that's on the robot, and then there would be a photo of the item as well. So that's another verification available. So that would be important. This photo documentation is because it's accessible across the organization, also for online catalogs or customer service with customers identifying parts. They can show the picture of the part to the customer and verify that that's the right part that they need. Are some examples of needs for photo documentation, all of which can be done, weights, dims, and photos, in a very efficient process in mobile dimensioning. Okay, so obstacles to getting accurate item masters are vendors just can't be trusted to provide accurate data. The SKUs can change over time. That changing can be precipitated by seasonal variations in products or promotional variations. Say you get 20% more of vegetable oil as an example for a limited period of time. Maybe it's during the Thanksgiving or holiday season, and then it goes back to the regular size package. Well, obviously that changes the package size, that changes the dimensions and the like for slotting purposes, shipping out, etc. We mentioned repackaging as well, and just variations. We've seen customers and warehouses proclaim that variation from one vendor's manufacturing location in the East Coast has different packaging from the same product on the West Coast. So there could be variation just in actual production plants. Then another huge obstacle is inefficient process for the operations to acquire and update item master data. So it just has not been a good, efficient process that, as operations, is relied upon to update item master data to be able to do it in a efficient process. So the problems with fixed systems can be numerous. First of all, inefficient workflow and process. It's manpower intensive. Could be 1, 2, or 3 people if you're going through a large update process. The equipment is expensive. It's a capital expenditure, a lot of times more than $20,000. If you try to make those systems mobile, like on a cart, like you see here, it could be, we've heard from customers that it blocks the fork trucks in the aisles from moving through efficiently and easily, and robots as well. It just gets in the way. It's really not an online system. It's hard to be connected in real-time uploads. The photo process, adding that to the whole process, is separate and inefficient. Has limited sizes of items if you're trying to be mobile or on these smaller systems. That could be up to maximum of 30 inches. And then there's a separate expensive systems for, say, you got the small and medium size thing that's on a cart like this, but then a large and or pallets would be on conveyor systems, or a portal where fork trucks have to run through for the pallet system, that are even much more expensive. So, and it's really not very scalable. It's very expensive equipment that is not very scalable to the efficiency of a warehouse. So what we've asked many a times from our customers, what is their experience with fixed dimensioning? And first and foremost, it's always inefficient workflow. Minimum of 5 minutes per SKU. Sometimes it's 2 to 3 times that up to 10 to 15 minutes per SKU. Basically, it's a process that you have to go get the products by a separate picker many times. So the question then is, inventory relieved during that time? Do you miss a pick because of that? There's a person stationed at the dimensioner that may have a separate laptop, and then there's a put away process that by a separate, again, put away function. So we've many times see that it's so expensive or so inefficient that it just is not utilized anymore. Companies just kind of give up on it because and that fixed dimensioning system just starts to collect dust in the corner of the warehouse. The question about whether or not the fixed dimensioners have an efficient photo processes and background removal is in question. The data connection, we've seen a lot of them. It's an old school CSV exports and cumbersome process with that, screen scraping type of activities as well. And it takes up some valuable space, whether it be, usually in the shipping or receiving area of the warehouse. So to introduce the mobile dimensioning, so a dimensioning system that's mobile with a worker, with a team member that can have a tablet, an iPhone, and a scale with them, and being able to take the weights, dimensions, and photos at the item location. You just go there, and at the location, even in the air, at the upper racking levels, many of our customers use order pickers, so they're able to put a pallet on the forks of the order picker and then a slip sheet on top of that. They put the scale on there. They go up to the 5th level, grab an item, a box, and set it on the scale, get the dimensions, weights, take pictures, and off they're going. So the system is very scalable. It's just add more systems to your team members. Is really as simple as that. We've proven out that it's a third of the cost of equipment cost, but it's over 3 times faster data acquisition. We get 2 minutes on average, and we'll show a histogram of analysis here for less than 2 minutes for small items. Medium items could be upwards of 2 to 3 minutes maximum, and large items in the 3-minute category. And that's when we say data acquisition, that's per SKU. So that's like pressing submit on the data of one SKU, travel to the next one, acquire all the data, and press submit. That's the time window for per SKU that we measure. So the mobile dimensioning is a modern smart mobile system that is on our Windows tablet with a 3D camera. But now new to this is we're supporting on iPhone and iPads with the iOS Apple ecosystem. On the Pro models that have LiDAR cameras can do the auto dimensioning. I'll put a side note that our XPIM is the dimensioning, or is the data collection software for both Android and iOS. The XPIM Plus for iPhone Pro and iPad Pro adds the dimensioning capability with that, and that's kind of in beta mode right now. But even so, even if you're entering dimensions manually, having that manual data collection process of getting the weight and photos entered dimensions manually is still a highly efficient process over fixed dimensioning. So we also have as it's a connected modern application, it has a smart backend integration capabilities with webhooks API. So this is a really good graphic here to show the difference between fixed and mobile dimensioning. And this will show that in the common fixed area, you would be seeing that you have to go to an item, and it's usually you'd be collecting multiple items at once, but you have to travel up to an item. We're using just a step ladder, but that could obviously be an order picker or other reach trucks or what have you. But you have to go to an item. It could be upper levels of the item, grab the items, assemble them, take the time to travel to the fixed dimensioner, and that could be hundreds of yards. It could be a quarter of a mile on some of the real large warehouses that we've seen. So to get to the fixed dimensioner, then once you get there, the person manning that booth or manning the fixed dimensioner would be needing to do all that data collection and taking pictures with a separate laptop and the like, and then they have to put it all away. So it really adds an inefficient, because a 5-step process: pick, transport, dimension, return, and put away. Versus mobile dimensioning, you just go to each item, and when you're at that item, you're able to after you've located and gone to the item, you collect that data and then move on to the next item. So you're saving that time of the travel to and from, and you can do it with a single person rather than potentially multiple people as well. So more than 3 times faster, a third the cost. So that means less people of your people, staff to do it. It's a modern app, able to get weights and pictures and have that modern integration. And it can do boxes, irregulars, it can do pallets, as well as small items and what we're now calling, we're emerging as flat items too. So like for apparel industry and things that have a lot of bags, like parts that are in small bags, we're able to do that as well. I'm going to breeze through these next couple of slides pretty quickly here, but some of the industry research is showing that mobile dimensioning and computer vision is certainly a trend in the logistics and transportation, warehouse, distribution centers. So the technologies are having great impact into it. The technologies are emerging yet maturing, and we're able to bring forth it in a mobile dimensioning standpoint as well. So I highly recommend for people to look at the DHL logistics trend radar. Their latest one is 7.0, and it mentions about mobile dimensioning trends and edge computing and digital twin, which this all fills into. So Zebra had a warehouse vision study a couple of years ago, or maybe 18 months ago, that noted that there are high implementation plans for sensor tech to modernize warehouse operations for mobile dimensioning software and machine vision, up to 90% implementation plans by 2027. This year, close to 80%. So it's definitely a high trend. We just a couple weeks ago, we were at the ProMat 2025 trade show in Chicago, and that's where I think many of the people attending today are from. And we also gave we had an exhibit there, and then we also gave an educational seminar similar to this presentation here, but that educational seminar, we had 86 people out of 100 seat theater filled. So it was a great turnout, and we had a record number of leads for our company at the exhibit booth as well. So it was a phenomenal show. I think it solidifies and shows that this is a trend and a big market need. So VDC is a research company as well that released a ProMat 2025 show report. They call it a recap. So we have a link here, and we'll do some follow-up emails to everybody attending here that can give some key links to what we're mentioning here, including our ROI calculator at the very end here. But this VDC research released, and they mentioned mobile dimensioning is featured as an industry focused because that enterprises are looking to optimize tasks and workflows, manual, and obviously create better efficiencies for labor-intensive processes. And they identified Mobile Demand as a leading provider of mobile dimensioning. So we had the mobile experience was mentioned as well with consumer-grade devices like Mobile Demand is offering, and they only listed Mobile Demand as offering it available on consumer-grade like the iPhone Pro and iPad Pro models that have the LiDAR cameras. So we're very pleased for that report as well, confirming that we're a leader in the industry. So from that, just to give you a brief schema of what the system is and entails. So we've had for several years now the rugged tablet. Mobile Demand is a company that does rugged tablets that could be mounted on forklifts, and like attaching payment module systems to them for mobile point of sale type of systems, or like a Mr. Car Wash. If you live in a city that has Mr. Car Washes in there, we have just about 2,000 tablets at Mr. Car Wash for their associates that are at the turnstiles when you come into the car wash to sell memberships and sell upgrades and things of that nature. We have casinos and cruise lines as well that do mobile point of sale. But that's the core of our business. But we've obviously is growing and expanding and focusing on this automation as well with mobile dimensioning. So with that said, our rugged tablet has a Intel RealSense 3D camera on the back of it. We now have a new mobile Bluetooth scale. That's a key part of the current data collection system. And then we're just now launching the dimensioning system that can also connect to the scale and have the same webhook or API interface up to a portal called Insight. So with even with the iPhones and iPads, you'll be able to run and get dimensions using that. So that's kind of the core of the hardware type and system look at it. So this looks with our XDIM is the dimensioning software that runs on Windows with that mobile tablet. Shows you that it can get dimensions of irregular items, boxes, pallets, and the like. That just shows on the left-hand side. And then on the right-hand side is like the iPhone that has the dimensioning system capable to get the dimensions, weights, and really high-quality pictures with the mobile devices like that. So we proclaimed, or we mentioned a little bit about the anywhere in the warehouse, and this is just some, I'll breeze through a few of these, but you can see these, that you can get dimensions up in the upper levels. So I mentioned an order picker with a pallet and slip sheet, and this shows, obviously, this is real world pictures from customers that have been doing picking up or doing this operation in the upper levels of the warehouse. So here's some boxes clearly on the upper levels. Here's even boxes higher, and then some pallets getting dimensioned even at close to the rafters and the lights on the 5th level of the warehouse. So as we've kind of fine-tuned our, looking into how is this really and effectively providing efficiency into warehouse operations. And the key metrics to consider are the time per SKU. I mentioned that before, as it's from one SKU to the next, the time in team member hours. So if it's multiple people for a fixed, you have to count those hours. Or if it's one person for a mobile, that's much simpler. But to complete a SKU item master data update, so we'll get the weights, dimensions, and photos. What's the acquisition cost of the hardware and equipment, plus any installation and or shipping that you would have to pay for large equipment? What's the software cost? Is a one-time or annual subscription? That obviously some of the benefits of subscriptions are you get continual updates and new features and things like that. What are the total number of SKUs you'd want to acquire item master data? Some companies, one of our customers has 120,000 SKUs. They're a manufacturer plus a distributor, so they wanted to get dimensions on an initial 35,000 SKUs of their third-party products that they distribute, because they know most of the other SKUs, they are the manufacturers, so they have a better idea of what those SKUs are, the dimensions and weights. And then there's a mix. What is the mix of the small, medium, or large items in your inventory? That helps to determine how fast and efficient you can be with the different fixed versus mobile dimensioning systems. So we did a time study of, we took a snapshot in March to do a time analysis of how long did it take our customers on 70,000 measurements to acquire the weights, dimensions, and photographs. And in this is a beautiful histogram. When we kind of assembled it together here, it came out to be fantastic, that it shows it's a very in control process for people who are industrial engineers and quality control people, that the overall average was 2 minutes and 4 seconds over 70,000 measurements. 44% of them were under 2 minutes, 68% were under 3 minutes, and 80% under 3 minutes and 45 seconds. And that really was also confirming that that the smaller items are in the under 2 minute area, medium items are in the 2 to 3 minute area, and some of them are even medium items in 1 minute and 30 seconds. And then large items, you might have to travel a little bit farther between the items, or they're heavier to handle and all that. So that could be up to the 3 minute area. The trailing off is probably some interruptions, getting phone calls, or talking with people, chatting with people, or taking breaks or things like quick breaks or things like that. So what it nets to on a single person doing a mobile dimensioning system on a 7 to 8 hour day can do 210 to 240 SKUs per day. That's at 2 minutes, average at 2 minutes. Where a fixed would be at very minimum 2 people and only accomplishing 150 per day. And that's per some even recent customers that have done some time studies on their fixed dimensioning data acquisition. So this is kind of some of the key data that has shown and proof in the efficiency. That now what we're going to do is we'll show you now our new ROI calculator. And that I will press the click here, and it's going to move screen. So I'm going to look away here to the to the screen here, but this is the ROI calculator that's going to be available, that is available on our website now, mobiledemand.com, and we will, Sarah will put the link in at the end of the chat for this. So it's the fixed versus mobile. Discover how mobile dimensioning saves time and money in your warehouse. So you can put in a number of SKUs that you'd like to dimension. I'll put 80,000. What's your hourly employee burden cost, dollars per hour? So we did some analysis, and that's $30 per hour overall burden cost is probably good. How fast would you want to accomplish getting the dimensions on all of your those 80,000 items in months? And then a SKU breakdown between small, medium, and large items, like the percentage of number of SKUs that are, we'll say 50% are small items, 30% are medium, and 20% are large items. Obviously, that could vary, and that varies as far as the time and efficiency. So the SKU breakdown, this is for the, okay, yes, and then enter your estimated time for time per minute for a fixed dimensioning, if you happen to have them now. We have seen, actually, customers are confirming that it'd be at minimum 7 minutes for small items, 10 minutes for medium and large items. And then the equipment costs, we've pre-filled in mobile hardware equipment costs that includes rugged. This is the rugged tablet. It would be a bit cheaper, obviously, for iPhones or iPads in the future, but then this also includes a scale. We've also included a 3-year warranty, extended warranty, things like that. The annual subscription price is $1,500. And then put in an estimated cost for the fixed hardware. We're being very conservative, saying $15,000 for that, but maybe it costs assembly and shipping and all that, $2,500 to that. So you can put your own data in there and what you feel, and then you can calculate the ROI. It immediately comes up and shows that the actual data in this scenario was that the speed advantage is that it would be 4 times faster per SKU doing the mobile dimensioning over fixed, and as far as the cost, it's less than 20% of the cost when that includes the hardware acquisition cost for the equipment, plus the software and the employee cost. So it's 1/5, actually 1/5 of the cost when you combine both the hardware, software, and employee and all. So it goes into some details that the total cost per system, and I think the key metric is cost per SKU. So for the fixed dimensioning is almost $7 per SKU, and for the mobile dimensioning, it comes out to be about $1.30 per SKU. And that is related to the vast chunk of that cost is employee time. So it's 8.5 minutes for time per SKU for fixed dimensioning, and 2 minutes and 15 seconds for the mobile dimensioning. So then it goes through the different costs, gives you a chart, and then you can get a personalized report, a PDF file downloaded that summarizes this as well by entering your name, company, email address, and phone number. And then after that, we can get you some further consultation, and would like to obviously discuss your results with that, and then how we can help make this happen for you. So, okay. We have a case study here of Grimco is a national wholesale sign supplier and manufacturer and distributor with over 60 locations in the U.S. We asked them many times, and it kind of bubbles down to that they said they want to work smarter, not harder. They want to do things much more efficiently, and obviously that's very much a confirmation of what BDC research and the industry analysts are saying, that enterprises are looking for driving efficiencies in their warehouse operations. So they say that the benefits are a significantly faster overall process for item master updates. The unplanned benefits that they were seeing as we added features to it was that photos for picking, edited background removal, file names tagged with SKU numbers, etc. They're going to bypass the shipping station in the future if they have shipping in a box that is already a shippable item, that they can bypass shipping station. You don't have to repackage, reweigh, and dimension. That you just be able to add put the shipping label on and out the door. So they see efficiencies in that. They're going to plan on doing pallets. They're doing irregular type or boxes and irregular type of items now, but they in the future, especially for 3PL and LTL outbound, they like the idea of the photos tied to shipments. And the core data would be available then for their dispute resolutions team, that the carriers can even get the photos as well. So that's some of the benefits, and this is real case examples of their images that they took, and getting dimensions and weight, and then doing the background removal as well. So like the irregular octagon box, I guess it might be, is with the background removed too. So with that, we have a question as dimensioning as a service. We'd like to get, if we have further interest in coming from you, we also would like to ping people, as we see sometimes customers will say, just, do you have a service that you can just come in and do it for us? And we're considering that. And we as a company are a technology company, and we're not necessarily that have a lot of employees and teams of people to go out to do that. But we definitely would like to see maybe our customers and interests could get us into companies that do inventory, mass inventory, annual inventory of facilities, even retail space or something like that. That this could be something that we would have them as a partner that would be able to come into an enterprise and say over a 2-week period, send 10, 20 people or something to get and just update the item master service data for you. So we definitely would like to have that as a question, maybe in the Q&A. We can talk about a little bit as well. So with that, I think we do have, I had pushed a slide here, I'm noticing, into a additional field here, but we have additional pictures of background removals, how good that is. But there was also this slide here that I want to cover before we move on to kind of the final slides here. So bear with me. And I think I need to stop sharing and then reshare so that audio comes with it. So hold on. Usually I know that. Okay, stop sharing, now reshare, include sound. There we go. Okay, do we see it again? Okay, all right. We'll press play. They're not perfectly timed here, but like the right one, I pressed a little bit after, but that it scanned a barcode with an iPad, and then took a picture, acquiring dimensions, just like that. Put it on the scale. Got the scale weight, just over 14 pounds. Taking another picture. Done with that. And can pick up the scale, put it on the holster, and move on to the next item. So it's as quick as that, kind of the process. I wanted to also just show you briefly like the background removal. So then in our Insight Cloud database has the ability to do with AI, and we use AI in a whole lot of this, the dimensioning systems, and also the background removal. But it's as easy as that to be able to get background removed. And that was actually, I recorded that, I believe it was off of an iPad as well. So here's another video showing now that the background is removed, then you can download, and it's all, the download is to the whatever you scanned, and you can determine like a SKU number, UPC number, and any additional number to super high quality images with great background removal that can work remarkably even with coiled items like cables and things of that nature too. So okay, so I wanted to cover that. That was originally intended to be in the main body. We'll get back to it here. So, okay. So with that, then what are the next steps for you to get started? And I covered this in the context of item master data updates, but we do see many other applications, like just a shipping for pallets and freight, and then also maybe large items in a mobile world, or things like gate agents at airports, airline gate agents checking back, looking at carry-on bags and getting dimensions of carry-on bags or checking bags and things of that nature, to various items like that. So there's definitely a lot of different applications. The fields are customizable, and so what we recommend for some of the next steps is to use this ROI calculator. So right at the end, Sarah will post the link to that. Request an online demo. We're going to have a series of webinars, weekly webinars here for deeper training, in-depth kind of a masterclass scenario, where Peter attending here will give those. We also recorded already some masterclass videos that we have available on a YouTube playlist. Part of this will follow-up emails will give you links to those. You can contact our sales, namely that would be Peter, for a personalized consultation, and especially for that ROI calculator. If you need to use that, we can go through your findings and figure out what may be some differences or what have you to consider. We'd be happy to talk about that. And then another one would be is download the XPIM on our app store, on the App Store, iOS and Android. So our website also has website QR codes for directly to the stores, or you can search for XPIM in the app stores. So that XPIM in and of itself is gets you into our system, gets you into the creating an organization and users for a limited time test. And then get used to it, set your own custom data fields. You can enter dimensions manually on a mobile environment, takes high quality pictures. You can buy our scale to acquire mobile weights in that scenario. And then, as I mentioned, we're doing the dimensioning with iPad Pro and iPhone Pro. So if you have those, you can contact us. We can work with you to get into the beta for that dimensioning on those devices. And then, which is coming in maximum, I think, 2 weeks here. So we demonstrated it at the ProMat trade show, and we're getting close. We're doing some fine tuning at the end here, just to make sure it has a great user experience in a beta mode. And we'd be happy to have a number of customers doing that. So, and then on some limited circumstances, because we kind of have a big backlog, literally over 400 leads from the ProMat show that we're working through. So limited time test systems could be available with the mobile dimensioning system on the Windows and rugged tablet as well. So that could be one of the other options for that. So with that, we can go into Q&A. In general, a lot of times we would be, what's the accuracy? Well, it's ½ of an inch on plus or minus ½ of an inch on boxes and irregulars. And we have that for legal for trade and NTEP certification, but it's kind of trying to be very conservative. When we do some large scale testing of thousands of boxes, a whole variety of boxes with different sizes and shapes, to different textures and colors, et cetera, different environments, that we would get 70 to 80% of the items would be within $1/4 of an inch accuracy too. So in general, it's about 1 to 2 inches for pallets, although we are improving the algorithm, and we've made some enhancements using some additional AI and other things that we're learning. And in 2 to 3 months, we're looking to improve that accuracy somewhat as well. So with that, we can open it up for other Q&A if people have other questions by chance.
Yes, there's a question here. I want to use the software on an iPhone to just dimension different items, and we ship as we package. We do not need it for logging inventory or barcoding. Is that still a viable option?
Yeah, absolutely it is. Yep. So the dimensions could be acquired, and then could have if you happen to have a shipping application on the iPhone to be able to print labels or create a shipment record. We are working on a ability through a keyboard wedge is to be able to copy and paste dimensions that would paste directly into your application, and or the weight as well would be able to enter directly into your application on the iPhone. Now, the question might be then is, does that mean that you would be having a separate PC shipping station, or are you so it's a little bit of nuance to answer that question. So maybe if you have a separate PC, you just want to capture instead of using a tape measure, you can capture the dimensions. And we've seen customers want to do this. Boom, you've got that, and you got the dimensions, and then now you can type it into your shipping PC. So.
Yep, and she might be following up with more details on that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yep, exactly. Just want to use it instead of a measuring tape. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep, there we go.
All right.
Read your mind. Yep. I think we have another question coming.
Yep, and they are located in the chat too, if you see them coming in, Matt.
Yep, I do. Yep. All right. Question is, what are the largest dimensions that could be captured? So for one thing I might do, I'm still sharing here, so that's good. I'm going to go to this right here. So this is an example of very large items. So the upper right is a 4 foot tall, just over a 4 foot tall roll of paper that was dimensioned by a packaging customer of ours. We've got dimensions of a pallet, almost a quadruple length pallet taken. So it's about a 42-inch wide pallet, and it was upwards of 10 feet and 12 feet long. So the dimensions can get to be pretty big. And we also have customers that are doing dimensions of appliances that are on pallets and in boxes, or large cabinets as well. When it comes to, as you've kind of probably seen, that the boxes are usually you point it at the corner of the box to get the dimensions. For irregular items, although these images of some of the irregulars are more to the side, we highly recommend that they be more over top the box. So from there, the over top, and so from there you're a little bit more limited to irregular item sizes. It might be more of 3 feet, like a 3 foot long suitcase. It could be maybe a little bit longer than that, but it's basically it's how high can you get the device that's more over the top and still be able to see the screen to be able to capture. And on long boxes like this customer Grimco, they're doing boxes of longer boxes like that in the neighborhood of 5-6 feet long as well too. So just fine. Okay. Any other questions?
Matt, I might elaborate on something here. The ROI calculator is obviously compelling. Would someone necessarily need to do a demo, or can they go ahead and just purchase a system and get started?
They can go ahead and purchase a system to get started for sure. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. I think we're having potentially another one coming in. I don't know if we're allowing people to speak as well, to ask questions by speaking, or.
We did not this round. I will make note of that for next.
Okay. I think we have another one coming in. So the question is, how important is warehouse lighting for the mobile dimensioning? It's actually, so that's a great question, because a lot of warehouses can get dim, especially in corners, end of aisles, or narrow aisle type of scenarios too. And we do have them, and especially like in some of the pictures that I had shown. Oh, that's great reference. Let me see here. I went too fast. I have to go back to sorry, don't look at the screen. Might get you dizzy here. So these would be some examples of in fairly, not the best lighting. So the upper right one, especially there, is looks like it's brighter in other areas around that in the aisle, but it was fairly dim right there. So I think it does fine. We haven't really had much of a feedback that lighting of poor lighting areas in the warehouses. I don't, Peter, maybe you could, if you could unmute and confirm potentially.
Yeah, that's not something we commonly see. One thing that we see potentially more than that would be extremely harsh lighting, which is pretty rare, in particular in a warehouse with large rack ceilings. But if there's a plastic wrapped item with clear plastic packaging or reflective black wrapping, if it's directly underneath a really, really harsh lighting, we have had some circumstances where they've just kind of moved the position of the object and it's been better. But that would be more something that I would be looking at versus minimum lighting, if that makes sense. But both are quite rare.
Question, follow up on that. Will it work outside in direct sunlight? Yes. I'll put it this way, at least for the technology used on the Windows tablet, the Intel RealSense camera, it's a D455 camera. It's a stereo camera. And that means that it's emitting infrared light as a projector. And it has two receiving sensors, cameras, that are seeing that light plus the ambient light. And so that infrared with even sunlight actually enhances in that circumstance. With that camera specifically, sunlight will enhance it. So if you have super high wrapped, maybe sunlight would be a problematic with wrapped clear or black plastic wrap. But in general on items, it should work. I have to temper that a little bit on the LiDAR on the iPhone and iPad. We know Intel RealSense had a LiDAR camera that they discontinued that was sensitive to one specific light frequency that actually made it didn't work quite as well with sunlight, even coming in from indirect sunlight coming in from windows inside. So that had a little bit of a problem with that. And I'm not 100, Apple doesn't share virtually any information, technical specs on their LiDAR cameras on the iPhone and iPads. So I can't answer that specific question. We haven't tested it by and large, and usually when we feel comfortable, we try to do thousands of tests of a variety of different conditions and things. So so we can't really specifically state on that mobile platform, but for the other one, yes, it should be fine.
If I can jump in there too quick, Matt, Rohan, another component of that conversation also would be the connectivity of the device, because you do need an internet connectivity to upload or to begin the process of capturing dimensions. We do have the capability using a queue of dimensions so that you could theoretically, and we do have customers who open up the device and get the application booted up while it's connected, and then walk outside into a lot and collect 10 or 20 dimensions and then bring it back into where it's connected to Wi-Fi and then finish those uploads. So that's one other component of doing dimensions outside the walls of connectivity.
Yep, that's a great point too, Peter. I think the other is, even if it is an outdoor environment, our tablet could be enabled with LTE, and on Verizon or AT&T, and can have connectivity outside without Wi-Fi, and then even have LTE on obviously iPhones and iPads as well too. So even inside, if you don't want to connect it to your warehouse, sometimes we've seen that it's they want to keep it separate even from the guest network, and they want to just do LTE. We've seen that, or 5G, if you will. All right, any other questions? Okay, well, Sarah, I think we're going to post the link to the ROI calculator. Hopefully everybody will see that as a great tool to take a look at, and it almost makes it that it's a no-brainer. So Sarah,
Yep.
if would you will, yeah.
Yep, I did share that, and then I also shared some contact information, and then you'll be receiving an email follow-up here with all different kinds of links and resources just shortly after this. So
I don't think I saw that. I don't think I saw it though.
It's in the it is in the chat. Yep. I will share it one more time.
Was it early? Oh, very early. Okay. At 12:30 you did that. Okay. All right.
Yep.
That's right. Okay. Okay.
Yes, so the recording will be shared as well. Great question.
Mhm.
And you
Yep.
can share that with your team members and anybody else in your area. Yep.
Okay. All right. Thank you, everybody. It's hopefully this was useful, and you know, I think it's a great trend in the industry to share everything we've got. Thank you.
Yep. Thanks.
Thanks, Matt.
Bye bye.